Okay, we are back with David Lockhart in front of the Rio Theater, which he just purchased.
Fine.
And David, you told me a little bit about the Lockhart movies. You did the first. You've got two more. I want to talk briefly about a couple of other movies. The Summer of '89. I guess
Oh yeah,
you did last year, and then I was really psyched to hear about Senior Entourage. I guess about
oh yeah.
a year and a half, 2 years ago when you were finishing it up, because I'm a
Right.
huge Entourage fan. And it ended up being a really, really funny movie. I guess you played kind of like a Tom Cruise character. And of course, the legendary Ed Asner. It was probably one of his last movies.
Yeah, it's his last movie that's out.
Wow.
Um, so
So were you involved in any of the financing, putting
yeah,
together some of the money for those, or did you help put them together?
yeah. Yes, for Senior Entourage, I was in a play with Brian Connors, a Brian Connors play. Um, and Ed Asner was in the play, and Mark Rydell was in the play. That's called Plays in the Park. And then he told me his Senior Entourage idea. He says, "Yeah, we could just get, for these guys are game. These guys want to make this movie, and they're funny. Just get the camera on them, and they're funny as hell." I was like, "Well, I know they're so quick witted. It's like watching a pro tennis match. When you're in the room with them and they're doing their thing.
But back up a
They're
quick
so
second. This
yeah.
this was Ed's idea.
Brian Connors. It was Brian
Oh,
Connors. Well,
okay, okay.
Ed does say it was his idea, but I don't think it was his idea. And Mark Rydell says it's his idea, but it was Brian Connor's idea. I'm pretty sure. That's what
Okay, cool,
they all
cool. So
tell me
this
it's
all
their
this
idea.
all this all kind of germinated while you were part of this ensemble and working this play.
Right, in the play. And so really Brian Connors sold me. I had like $10,000 to oh, Brian said, yeah, I had $10,000. Brian Connors says if I put in 10, he can get another guy that could do 10. And I was like, all right. And then I was like, I could be in a movie with Ed Asner. I was like, it sounds good. And the Brian like had a script, but like we couldn't do the script for some reason. I think it was too his script idea was too big, so we're just going to do it more like Larry David style and just sort of follow us around for like a week. That was sort of the premise of it. Um, and then we're in the play, and then so just that's why I just keep on going on and on. I was in this Ling Tang came to see the play, and at the end of the play, where we are telling people about our idea, like we want to make a movie and just follow us around. And I was in China. I had met Ling Tang in China. She's Chinese, and I think she has dual citizenship. But someone flew. SSTV, this TV station, got launched. Uh, China flew me over to be a part of like this red carpet thing because they saw me doing the Lockhart and all these other things I was doing. So they flew me over there because they needed or
Cool.
they wanted some American actors. And
Nice.
I think at that time they're probably more. At that time they didn't know the difference between, or maybe they did, but like a Matt Damon or they just know Hollywood film. They don't know how big
Uh-huh.
someone is. So I was like, they're flying me out there. I was like, yeah, sure, all right. Quick, get on the plane before they figure out
Before they
not to
change their
fix up.
mind.
Yeah, before they change their mind. Let's book it now. Get me on that plane. But it was like an amazing thing. I met amazing people there, and I met her. So she came to the play. And at the end of the play, we pitched our idea that we need some money, and so she came up with the rest of the funds, which was, again, not that much, because it's done Larry David style, and so, but it was enough to make this Senior Entourage film that we did. Um,
Did you get any money? So you're kind of finishing up the play. A couple people are throwing in 10 grand, 10 grand here and there. Did you
yeah,
get any of the play theater audience or the people who really love the play to throw in a few pesos?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We did. Yeah, that was like a pass the pass the bowl around,
That's
and
cool.
then yeah. I mean,
Because you
not really,
got
but
an interested audience right there that might want to
right.
see
And they're
the
all
play
fired up.
furthered.
yeah, because they just saw Ed, and
Yeah,
Mark Rydell, and they saw how still hungry they were. You know, I
yeah,
mean, you'd sort of like they could like get tired and stuff. Ed was 90 from crying out loud. Mark's older. Mark directed like On Golden Pond and like tons of old like uh, he directed John Wayne's last film. So
yeah. He's been around.
so that was like you just yeah, and Helen Reddy. So that was
Yeah,
another crazy
that's right. Helen
story.
Reddy, the voice. My God.
She hadn't sung for a year, and so before the film, she was at the retirement community with Mark Rydell. So it's just like you just keep on connecting dots. That's my motto. I just go forward, and then however it falls into place, that's how it goes. And if it doesn't go all the way how you want it, it never goes how exactly you want it, but then you'll get something else that you didn't expect. And that's sort of how my experience is like going forward of all these things. So like Helen Reddy came and through Mark Rydell, and she hadn't sung in a year. And then we had her, we're like, what if we play a little piano and have her sing? So we did that. And then like 4 days later was the Women's March after that. And
That
so
was big for her.
that was like and she hadn't sung. She sung her for first time in front of like 5 people, like 4 days before that. But again, that was like a happy accident. Me, Brian, and Mark Rydell were supposed to go to Sundance, and we're going to try to find Robert Redford because Mark Rydell knew Robert Redford. We're like, no, if we don't find him, that's fine. But like the journey of us walking around trying to find him.
Yeah.
So we did that. Mark Rydell can't go last minute. So we're like, oh, we already have our tickets in our place. So like it was like Brian Connors and I were like, all right, let's go to Sundance. The Women's March happened. Right before I left, I said, my wife and her friend were going to the Women's March. I said, oh, you should bring Helen Reddy with you. You know, she sings that song, I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. Like the crowd would, or I didn't think they would go on stage or anything. I thought it'd be fun uh, just to take her for fun. And they're like, oh, my wife's like, oh, I don't know. And then my wife's friend Andrew goes, oh, you know Helen Reddy? I'm like, yeah, I'm making a movie with her. Like, oh, we're taking Helen Reddy. I was like, all right, here's her number. Take Helen with you. And then I was like, oh, I should I'll have a camera guy follow you guys around while you're at the Women's March and get people's reactions and stuff. And so like, then the next day, like I saw it all online. I was like, what? That Helen Reddy on the stage singing a cappella to
Incredible.
a million people. I was like, what? How did this happen? And luckily, we had a camera person following it, and yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. They went. They they called up. They had Helen, and they called up the stage and like, hey, we're coming to the Women's March. We have Helen Reddy with us. Is there any way we could get back? They're like, you have Helen Reddy with you? Yes, bring her. Bring Helen. And Jamie Lee Curtis was like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to talk, but I won't talk. I'll have Helen Reddy get on the stage instead. And that was like another happy, but for me, that's like the highlight of the movie is like that Helen Reddy getting on, that was like a way to, what a that was her last big performance, what a way to end a phenomenal career is being that energy of just like a million people. And then that's just physically who are there, all the people online and, and maybe the few who see our movie
No,
get to
no,
feel that
a
energy
lot of
too.
people have seen your movie. I loved it, and any of the audience listening, definitely check out Senior Entourage. It's a great film, and congratulations on just putting that together. It seems like it's just kind of a miracle. It all coalesced, and it
Right.
worked the
Just
way
keep
you
on
did it.
going
Kind of
forward.
gritty,
Yeah.
interview, kind of a mockumentary type thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
are you still involved with Artist Palooza? Your
Yeah. Artist
501c3
Palooza.
nonprofit. Tell us a little bit about that and how it might support struggling filmmakers or filmmakers who just want to connect with crew, maybe get some more inspiration on raising money and putting together their own projects.
Yeah, that was a crazy idea. So I'll tell that really quick as I can. Is that when I first got to LA, I saw all these amazing artists, on the street, musicians, artists. I was like, why aren't these people famous? Uh, they blow me away. They're so talented, more talented than I am. So I was like, I had the idea. I was just talking. I think I was just talking with someone. I was like sh- shooting the shooting the shit. I don't. Are we allowed to swear on this? Shooting the
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it's okay.
I was just having a conversation with a guy, and I was like, "Oh, let's get a web." I was like, "I bet if I got a website and got some videos of people filming them and put them on the website, then these people would be discovered and be famous." This is right as I moved to LA. I'm very naive, and then the guy kept bought. I was like, "I'll post on Craigslist looking for filmmakers to to make little documentaries on these people so we could put them on this website." And so the guy kept on bugging me. He's like, "Did you put anything on Craigslist yet? Do you put?" I was like, "No, no." And then finally, I put it on really just so this guy would stop asking me if I did it. So I put it on. I didn't think anyone would respond, but all these people came out and said they want to help. And then the thing just sort of morphed into this situation. And then 4 months later, we had a big studio, like just people. That's Stone Soup in a nutshell. Like everyone just sort of came. Everyone was just, I like lit a spark, but then everyone came and made the fire. And so, for like a brief period, for about a year, we had this amazing spot in Santa Monica for an abandoned bank that was huge, and we had like music nights every week, artist showcase, fashion shows, all these things. And then someone had the idea to make it a 501c3, and then the train came, the Santa Monica train, so we had to tear it down, but still viable. It's still in existence, and so now we keep it as a way for if someone has a project that needs 501c3 status, whether it's a short film, things that are hard to get
Oh,
investors,
oh, so you can, so
umbrella people.
a filmmaker, for example, if they had something that was kind of in a serving tradition or something that needed a 501c3 status, they could kind of work through your shell.
Exactly, exactly.
Wow.
So we've done that a few times, and that yeah. So like short film, now it's easier to get your money back with a short film because now there's ways to go about it. But there's platforms. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't done it, but you could. There's ways to, you could put it on YouTube or whatever it is. There's ways to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back then, you could only get investments for a feature film, really. Um, but now, also with Artist Palooza, it could be anything. It could be a mural. It could be some artwork that you want,
Yeah.
and you have someone. So now, instead of an investor, someone could donate to Artist Palooza. We funnel it through us. We take 10% and give it to, as long as it's an artistic endeavor, that's what we're covered under. We have a very broad spectrum of what we're allowed to do under our umbrella. So anything artistic, just to support the arts, anything creative. And we all, I don't care really if you're an artist or not, we all have this creative side that whether you like to cook or sew, like when you're in that zone, that gets to the point. Yeah, this is sort of like what I love is when there's that one thing, when you're doing it, you just know that's what you're supposed to do. Like whether it's you're surfing or you're singing or you're making a movie or taking that awesome picture, or like you're turned on. Like right now I'm turned on just talking about, like I feel the energy, like I get goosebumps actually talking about it every time. Like you're like, that's your authentic self when you're in the zone. You're like, this is what you're supposed to do. You feel like, I don't know, whatever you believe in, it, you feel closer to God or the universe, or you're you could feel it. You could feel
Well,
this.
I can feel it right now because it's so genuine. I
Yeah,
mean, I've seen you just be so generous over the years, trying to connect people. I think we first met at the Burbank International Film Festival, and it wasn't just about you. You were, hey, Robbie, you got to meet this guy over here. He's got this film, and hey, Julie, you got to meet this person over there. I saw you literally trying to kind of network people together to germinate other film projects, even though
yeah,
you were there promoting your own film project. And I thought that was
yeah.
really cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I get the biggest high actually of that, off that. like like I like to get out of the way, to tell you the truth. Like I like to set things up and then sort of like stand back. That's like my favorite thing to do. except when I'm like performing. Then I'm
Yeah,
also
yeah.
like to
Well,
be.
that's what
I like to stand
producers
back and
do. We
perform.
we do a lot of work, raise the money, and the director comes in, takes the whole spotlight. But that's okay
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
as long as we're behind it.
yeah,
There's a real satisfaction of seeing all these people employed, and most importantly,
yeah,
the finished product, which can tell a story, which can inspire people, make the world a better place, make people laugh, make people
yeah,
cry.
yeah, yeah.
So, do you think in your successful career? I mean, you've acted in a ton, dozens and dozens of projects, and you've produced, well over a dozen yourself. Do you think that this synergy you have with all the different talents you have, like music and martial arts and acting and writing, do you think that kind of helps the whole process of putting together a movie and finding money?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's it's a I won't say a struggle, but it's work. I mean, I could say struggle, but then when you say those words, then it sort of happens more. But like if it's work, like I'm very much like energetic, and martial arts is
Yeah,
harnessing
it takes
energy,
some
and
energy, no doubt. I
yeah,
always like to say that it's never easy raising money for a film, but if you know the steps to do and you've done it multiple times, there's kind of a process of reaching out to people and being persistent. It actually
yeah,
can be simple, even though it's not
yeah,
easy. It can be done.
yeah, yeah. I think we hit upon a few of the things of being authentic, being real. That works best for me, and that's when I seem to attract it, the money, like because money is energy too. So it's people's they've earned it, and now they're pushing it forward to you, and then you're taking it and dispersing it, and then creating something. So it's just things that are going back between all of us, and then you harnessing it to make that project your film, and then pushing it out again. So
I,
like
I
being
got
authentic.
goosebumps right now because
Oh, thanks.
what you said just now about how money is energy. They've worked hard to get their money. They feel your energy. They want to support your
Hmm.
project. They're giving
Hmm.
that energy. That's powerful, man. I've never
Uh,
heard it explained that way, but I think that's so powerful.
I don't think I've ever said that until just now
I'm
too.
glad you said
So
it on this
yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
Finance your
I got
movie.
goosebumps. I got the hairs. They're there. I don't know if you've seen. They're popping.
So
Um,
David, any other advice or inspiration you can give aspiring filmmakers, you know, doing their project? Words
I
of
mean,
wisdom.
I know it sounds sort of corny, but this is what I try to remember: is really just be a good person. Um, if you're doing what you love to do, and you're being your authentic self, and you're being good to people, like nice to people, um, loving, really, forgiving as much as you can, because people can get a little when when people are passionate about things, and tensions could rise high, and especially in lots of the arts where they might not have the energy, and like desperate for money, like I don't know, things sort of happen. But if you're forgiving and keep doing your thing and keep enjoying it, and whatever it is, if you move forward just a little bit every day, whether it's do your art a little bit every day, like do that one email, or do something to make you feel good, like you're getting you keep on going, like don't I advise not to completely stop,
Progress.
and
Keep
but
keep it
yeah,
going.
just even one small little thing, just to say it, talk to that one person, make that one phone call. But also, when I say be forgiving, also on yourself, you know on myself, I'm my worst critic. um
Yeah.
and I'm always I'm the no, I won't say I'm always, but I have the tendency sometimes to look back, to, oh, I should have done it this way. Why didn't I call that? Or but
Yeah.
we're all
Yeah.
do the best you can with what you got, and always move forward and be nice to people, and loving not to just others but yourself. And you know, me, we're amazing people. So just be good to yourself and others. Really. You know,
Well,
we're
you were
so hard on ourselves.
really good and kind to come on the show today and share so much. Really appreciate it. Before we leave, let's just say there's a filmmaker out there who has a finished movie and they want to play it in a theater in your neck of the
Hmm.
woods. How would that work? What's the best way to
Email.
contact you at the Rio Theater?
You could. Here's someone taking a photo of the Rio Theater right now. Our website is monterriotheater.com, www.monterriotheater.com. The email is info@monterriotheater.com. Or you could just email me too, davidalockhart@yahoo.com. All three, or all two of the emails will get to me. And then if you go to monterriotheater.com, you can see the video we did with Ed Asner. So we're giving the Ed Asner Award this weekend, this Saturday. So that's going to be like a yearly
Awesome.
thing. So we'll give it to some amazing person every year. This Saturday's Ed Asner's daughter is going to accept it on behalf of Ed, and we're going to do a little Ed Asner star out front.
That's so
And
cool. That's so cool.
it's going to be fun. Yeah.
So thank you for supporting independent film and what you're doing there. Is there a good social media contact to follow you?
David Lockhart. Uh, there's my personal Facebook. There's my fan Facebook, they call him, David Lockhart. They're both called David Lockhart. And then on Instagram is rock and roll actor. Um,
Cool.
yeah, that's it.
And one final thing for our, I want to make sure I don't miss this one. For our Millionaire Flicks audience who's watching it where it premieres each week, are there any projects, just like in a 60-second elevator pitch, any projects you're in development right now that you're looking for funding? Because these guys have
There's,
deep pockets.
oh, yeah, okay. I have some amazing projects for the deep pocket listeners. One is called Rock and Roll Zombie Apocalypse. Um, about a rock band they go on tour. They finally get their big break to go on tour, and luck have it, the zombie apocalypse breaks out. But they're so determined to finish their tour because if this is their big break, they're going to finish it. So, zombies, rock and roll, can't go wrong. And the
Yeah,
other one is
great genre mix right there.
and we have a trailer. We shot some of that film already for the trailer with Eric Roberts, Richard Portnow, Mindy Robinsons, and some other actors that you recognize them. They're pretty famous. They're on board. Um, and then I had the Lockhart trilogy. So I made the first Lockhart film, but since I made that first one, I went all over the world really, and to find out more about the Lockhart Healing Stone, and the true story is even more amazing than the made up story I originally created. But there's star constellations aligned with 3 Scottish islands uh, that are aligned with the Egyptian pyramids, and there's a belief that Robert the Bruce harnessed this energy, mystic energy, to defeat the English. So I went all these places. I went to Egypt. I went to the Scottish islands. I went all over Spain, Teba, where the Lockhart originally got the healing stone, and
Wow.
we reenacted the where this battle with the Moors, and again the town folk came together, and we have so much amazing footage. So I want to finish up that Lockhart 2 and 3 with this phenomenal footage I've gotten from all over the world, and Rock and Roll Zombie Apocalypse. Those are the
Awesome.
2 ones I think are ready to hot to go.
And sound like real passion project. I wish you all the
Yeah.
best. And
Oh, thanks, man.
David, thank you so much for your time today. Hopefully, we'll hook up sometime soon, either in Hollywood or up in Northern California.
Hopefully both.
Yeah. Take
Thank
care,
you,
my
Scott.
friend.
Thanks for having me.
Tune in to Scott Dupont, host of Finance Your Movie, premiering each week on Millionaire Flicks. Thanks for listening, and remember, it's time!
FinanceYourMovie.com. Copyright Nemours Marketing.